Previously on The Ultimate Fighter.
Just a mental error, dude. You chose to do that.
Instead of following Mir's game plan, Dave Kaplan came up with one of his own, testing his chin against Felipe Nover's fists.
I came with an idiotic game plan.
And in his elimination fight, Krzysztof Soshinski crushed his opponent in a matter of seconds.
Whoa! Krzysztof is like a caged animal.
But a hand injury while training has kept him out of the cage. Now, in the final preliminary light heavyweight fight, Krzysztof faces the formidable Kyle Kingsbury of Team Nogueira, who will be crowned the Ultimate Fighter.
Your winner by rear naked choke, Felipe. Good fight, guys. Fight.
Fight between Dave and Felipe was a little shocking, actually.
Cab's game plan supposedly was to go out there and take some punches to the face. It works out pretty good when you're good at taking punches to the face, but obviously he isn't.
He took the first two, but the third one landed straight in the jaw and dropped Dave. And after that, it was pretty much over. The way I see it, that was one of the worst game plans I've ever heard of. Sitting there taking 3 straight punches and then thinking they're going to walk through every punch. But that's just my opinion.
This fight was really what I wanted to show the other 55ers what my ability is, and kind of struck a little fear probably, you know, in all the 55ers. What was the blue team saying when after that fight?
Vinny turned to me and said, I don't have to worry about it, I'm a 205.
Judy actually was like, oh. A message for the rest of the guys that have to face me in the rest of the tournament. Felipe Nover is definitely here to stay, and whoever I face in the semifinals is gonna have a problem. You know, they call me the Filipino assassin, and I'm gonna just go out there and do my thing.
So now it's tied up again. Nogueira 3, Mir 3. This one's neck and neck. Matchups are out the window now. The fights are what they are. There's only a couple fights left. The last light heavyweight fight will be Krzysztof versus Kyle.
Oh. Yeah, no problem, just go.
Oh. Thumb's killing me, but, you know, part of the game. I've been trying to squeeze it and try to get some work into it. I know it's busted up pretty good in there. I'm just gonna deal with it as it comes, like always. What sucks the most about it right now is I don't wanna let my team down.
Just for the record, you'd be surprised at how many people and who I've made tap on my table.
Krzysztof's pulled me to the side, let me know that his hand's damaged. It's pretty bad. He thinks it might even be fractured. Scary.
Krzysztof, I brought a hand expert. You know Don, right?
Today I work with Krzysztof. His hand, after I look at his hand, he jammed it a little bit, so it's a bruise in his area. A couple of days, ice should be okay. I think he's gonna be a tough guy to beat. If we don't, then what happens is we doing this.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to keep it hidden as much as I can from Team Nogueira, but I'm pretty sure they know what's going on.
Now here's the question. Are we drinking tonight, or are we really waking up at 6 in the morning and drinking?
I'll do either one, man.
Yeah.
My good buddy and I, David Kaplan, I went ahead and decided he had kind of a rough day, kind of a rough fight, and I was going to go ahead and I was going to drink with him.
Kaplan
does not waste any time with getting started on the binge drinking. I'm feeling a little sorry for himself. I'm not sure what the deal is, but he starts hammering down shots of vodka.
You know what I'm going to say? UFC, keep having me back. I cannot be knocked out. It's impossible. Have me back until it happens.
Dude, all you pussies could knock me out. All you pussies together could knock me out. This might be able to. This might be right.
I will not be knocked out.
Never been knocked out.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
So they're going back and forth, you know, drinking beer, drinking shots. The night kept getting crazier after that. Dave and Tom went on to do more antics. They went downstairs.
Kaplan started calling out, you know, all the fighters. He's calling out Philippe, calling out everyone. He started walking around in his Speedos again. It was pretty entertaining, actually. I mean, it takes a lot of attention off me.
Okay, come with me.
Oh, dude, I'm with you all the way, bro.
Man, I seen enough Speedos for a lifetime here in this house, man. Kaplan, I think that's all he owns is Speedos. Tom is the same, man. I think they didn't bring any clothes with them except Speedos because that's all they wear around the house. It's horrendous.
Hey, well, his knee buckle. Can I talk to you real quick?
As more and more people drop out of, you know, the tournament or whatever, it'll probably make me look a little more stable because there'll be a lot more drunken idiots in the house. It'll make me look a little more normal. Everyone looks unstable when they're drunk.
Come out.
Oh!
I'm not going to punch you.
Dude, I can't.
I can take anything you can, and I will do this. Do it. Just do it. Second, I can punch you. Do it. Oh.
Kaplan, he has this thing about not being able to be knocked out.
Do it, Kaplan. Just do it.
He began begging and pleading with me to go ahead and hit him. And I really didn't want to hit Kaplan.
Just do it.
But sometimes you just got to do things that you don't want to do in life.
Bull. You're lying. Cap. Just do it. Second, I can punch you. Do it. Oh. I will punch you and I'll get no repercussion. No repercussion. No. Do it. Cap. Just do it. Just do it. Bull. You're lying. Cat. Oh, Cat.
I have a very, very good chin, and I wanted to see how hard Tom punched. You know, he's a big 205-pounder, so I goaded him into punching me, and he hits pretty hard. I wasn't knocked out, but he did hurt. My jaw does hurt.
Cap. Oh, no. Oh, boy.
When somebody that's 205 pounds hits a midget, the midget is usually going to be knocked out. And in this case, he dropped like a sack of potatoes. Kaplan was definitely knocked out.
Hey, come here. Come on, dude. Come here.
I wasn't unconscious. I mean, did it knock me down? Yeah, but I wasn't knocked out. I thought it was fun. I mean, we were just having a good time, you know.
Cap, do you understand what just happened? No. You really shouldn't do that, man.
It was good, though.
You went like this? You were standing there? You went...
I remember that. I wasn't really out. I did. It was a hard punch, though. I will give you that much. Right here, you got me right on the chin. If I asked for it.
You begged for it, man.
Christoph thinks it's going to be an easy fight against Kyle, but that won't be an easy fight. Christoph is a good striker, but he has no takedown defense, has no takedowns, and his ground is like pretty weak, so I don't know why he thinks he's going to have an easy fight.
Christoph. To fight against Kyle.
Christoph is underestimating Kyle. He's looking right past him to the finals, and looking past the guy's the worst thing you can do in this sport. Anyone can beat you on any given day. To look past somebody's the cardinal sin. You can't do that.
So guys, have a good fight.
I think Christoph is overlooking me a bit. Everything I'm hearing from other people is that, you know, he's not even worried about peaking for this fight. He's going to save his energy and peak for the next one. And, you know, and let him think that all he wants. It's just more power to me right now.
1, 2, 3,
You know, for me, my head's clear. I'm ready to go. As long as I follow my game plan, everything should work out, and my hand will be raised at the end of the fight. Oh, there's no way I'm scared of Kyle. He's scared of me. Looked in his eyes. You can see the fear. I have no fear of Kyle. There's nobody in this house that I have a fear of. They're all scared of me.
Do we have practice again tonight? No. Let's pull the prank on Christoph.
What's the prank? You got the peanuts?
Did he get the peanuts? No.
No. Put every movable part in the house in his room.
All right, let's do it.
Talking about we might have to work for an hour.
You want to do it now or when they're practicing?
Right now. Right now. We're having to get home, grab something to eat, and then, well, I'm talking about everything.
So Christoph has taken it upon himself to kind of prank the person that's fighting that week.
So we decided it was time to get him back a little bit. We started off by shoving Christoph's mattress and bed into his closet, and then we filled up his closet with toilet paper.
He's gonna need some help, man, to get rid of all this crap.
And then we moved pretty much any movable object in the house into his room. We just packed it with. We put water in there. We put all the booze in there. We're putting all the lawn chairs in there. We put a couple couches in there.
I don't think there's any room left for the couches.
To top it all off, we're putting up a sign on his door that says UFC storage room.
We'll see who from Christoph's team helps him out and get all that out.
If anybody.
Dan Henderson is one of the best pound-for-pound martial artists in our sport. He was an Olympic-level wrestler, was the Pride, middleweight champ, Pride light heavyweight champ. He's been in title fights here in the UFC in his first 2 fights right off the bat, so it's kind of motivating to the guys to have a guy like that in the gym.
I came out here because of Christoph Szczynski. I've been coaching Christoph for a year or two now. Christoph is he's a pleasure to have in the room. He's got a lot of potential as well and a lot of experience.
Personally, having Dan here training with us, it's great. It's nice to see a friendly face, a familiar face. It's really good to have one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world in your corner.
Although he has a hurt hand, he's mentally very tough, and he's going to push right through it. I've seen him push through much worse injuries and without a problem.
Thumb's ready to go. It's as good as it's going to get. I'm not even thinking about it right now. I've been sparring with it. It's about 65, 70%. It still hurts like hell, but I can deal with it, and I'll deal with it when the fight happens.
It's my favorite submission. I go for it from everywhere.
What's the Kimura? This one?
No, the other one. This one, yeah.
This is about
the shoulder, yeah.
Nice. UFC storage room. Look at that. Damn. Nice. Oh, you put it back in my room again. Nice. Good job.
I walk into the house. I was expecting a prank. I knew I was going to get one today because of the fight announcement. But as soon as I walked in the door, I walk into my room and boom, the room's full of a whole bunch of furniture and vodka and water and everything, whatever you can possibly fit into there.
Damn, that's gonna be some work. It's gonna suck.
I know.
Good job. Hey, man, it's a good job. Good prank, finally.
So it was a good prank, very good. I'll let him have it since it was their first one, and we'll see if they can come up with something better than that. But I got something good for them coming up very soon.
It's a good one. That's a good prank. I didn't know you guys had it in you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Every time we go into the Coach's Challenge, the fighters are always fired up for it because it's finally they get to see their coaches' asses on the line. And the coaches are always so nervous, Am I going to look like a dick on TV? And apparently Frank Mir, he's just convinced that this is going to be a swimming event. And apparently he can't swim. He sinks to the bottom like a rock.
Yeah, sure.
While Nogueira, on the other hand, he heard about the Coach's Challenge, and from what I hear, he's been training in every sport there is. He's been golfing, skiing, he's been bowling, playing every sport there is to play out there, except the one that we're going to do for the Coach's Challenge.
I was scared when I saw that because I'm gonna tell you, everybody in Brazil was a good soccer. I was the only guy I didn't play. I never played soccer in my life because I was the worst player in Brazil. I'm the worst one.
Nogueira has never played soccer and is not good at soccer at all. When he pulled up and saw the soccer nets out there, he was like, oh, I'm going to get humiliated in front of my whole country.
This is unfair. The Brazilian in soccer. We couldn't play a game of football. I've never played soccer.
Mir pulls up and says, this thing's biased. Of course he's played soccer. He's from Brazil. Listen, I'm from America, and I've never played baseball. All right, this is the Coach's Challenge. Here's how it's going to work. You put the ball in the white dot here. One of the guys stands in the goal. We'll flip the coin. Somebody's going to go first. If they score a goal or don't score a goal, then they go in the goal box. The other coach comes over and then kicks. First guy to 10 wins. Okay, now, the coach that wins the $10,000. Okay? The winning team wins $1,000 each. Yes! Okay? Ready? Yeah! Do it. The name that pops up kicks first, okay? Mir kicks first.
I walked out of the car, I see the soccer game, like, oh, I was just screwed. But I went out there, stopped feeling sorry for myself and did the best I could at it, just realizing that Nogueira is nowhere near the same kind of athlete that I am.
Let's go, let's do.
I never had a competition with Frank Mir, so I could see his face, how he was nervous. That's good. It's kind of warm up before the fight.
Coach Nogueira starts to pull ahead. We're going crazy cheering for him. And I'm getting a little louder than the rest. Yelling goal as loud as I can, just like the Mexican announcers. And it starts getting to Coach Mir.
Frank's walking back to his thing, and he's getting pissed.
At first, I was really upset with them as far as how disrespectful they are, but then I got to realize that a lot of them are losers. They're never going to be studs. That's the way it is.
Nogueira's like diving and smacking balls out of the way. Frank's like, it's a little to the right. I'm not moving. It's got to come right here. If it comes right here, I'll stop it. He's not up his hair to win this game, okay? Frank stopped a couple of balls. I think Frank starts to see that Nogueira's actually human and maybe he hasn't played soccer before. And it's neck and neck.
8-6. We got now, look at that. Oh! 9-6. You got it, baby. You got it. Gonna make 1,000 everybody pocket today, man. Okay? Coach,
try not to kick it to him, Coach.
You know, I tried my best and we won. Very funny. My worst game in my life, you know, I won. I was more exciting to win the $1,000 for each guy than won my $10,000.
Basically, it was a situation where I was never intended to win.
You lost to a Brazilian national sport. By a Brazilian.
Actually, I feel kind of bad for him because the fact that I was able to score 6 points on him and he's played is kind of humiliating for him. It just kind of shows that, you know, I'm 200 times the athlete that he is. I can jump higher, run faster, move quicker, move longer. Anything we do that I know just as well as he does, I'm going to crush him at.
Everybody was happy. After that, we went to the house. We played some basketball in the pool. Everybody, energy was good, you know. I was very happy for the team, you know. It was a good day for us. You know, it was good motivation for the fight.
Kingsbury, born in San Jose, California, 26 years old, basically a college football player, played at ASU, and got into MMA shortly after, just been training since then.
Got my abs back, look at that. Bader better look out. Well, maybe you're not Bader.
I would say that, you know, when I first started MMA, my dad had always, I didn't even let my dad know because he had always told me, don't you ever, you know, end up fighting or I'm going to get really pissed at you, you know, and there's going to be consequences for that. And he was really, really strict about it. So I actually had my third pro fight when it finally got back to my dad that I was fighting and doing mixed martial arts. And he took it pretty well, you know, he took it a lot better than I thought he would. And that's when he started filling me in on how he had boxed professionally and my grandfather had boxed professionally. And it was really pretty cool, you know. He told me I came from a long line of fighters, and he just didn't want me to box because, you know, he didn't want my head getting bashed in. But, you know, the sport of MMA is much different, and a lot of these guys, you know, they don't wind up sounding like boxers at the end of their careers. You know, he backs me up 100%, and, you know, he's my biggest fan and supporter, and I love him very much. I'm fighting Krzysztof Szynski, and I think it's going to be a good fight. I think it's going to be a lot of action. Krzysztof's a good striker. I'm a good striker. Should be good. Krzysztof was the first pick, and that's a great thing because that puts all the pressure in the world on him. You know, I lost and was brought back into this competition due to injuries. I'm very fortunate to be here, but, you know, the pressure's off my shoulders.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh! Woo! Woo!
When Krzysztof hits me hard, you're not going to see me cover up and go into a little ball. I'm going to be returning fire just as hard, if not harder.
4, 5. Oh!
I got a lot of weapons, and I think that all of them outdo anything he's got. This fight is everything in the world to me. I mean, this is the matchup I think all the fans want to see, and I think I'm definitely going to deliver. This is not going to be a boring fight. Any way you cut it, you know, it's going to be exciting from start to finish, and I'm very excited for this fight.
show up from training today, and my room was turned into the UFC storage room. So at 2 in the morning, I came up with a prank to avenge what they did to me. And I decided to grab all the dishes, every single one, all the kitchen utensils, and every single fork, knife, and spoon in that kitchen, and take it out to the basketball court and set up a nice breakfast for the red team in the morning. Growing up in Poland was tough under communist regime. You know, everything was on food stamps, waiting in lines for bread. So around the age of 10, my dad and my mom decided that it was time for us to move on and try to get away from that kind of life and then make a better life for ourselves. Moved to Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, where I grew up for 20 years. My parents sacrificed everything they had back home. You know, they had a nice apartment, you know, furniture, everything they had was they sacrificed for their sons. This is probably the biggest fight so far in my career. It's 2 steps away from making my dream come true. You know, it's as close as you can get to an American dream. It's a Canadian dream.
Dishes are all around the entire basketball court. That's funny.
Christoph took all that stuff and put it out on the basketball court. I got some sushi and had breakfast on the basketball court, and I thought it was pretty funny. Sitting out there eating, it kind of felt like I was in the middle of nowhere. It was a prank on both teams, so I think it was just Christoph telling everybody to off.
Holy yeah, you weren't around with the plates, huh?
Nope, I told you.
Man, Christoph's latest prank sucked. I was a little pissed about the dishes. It was a little irritating, but whatever, you know. It was a prank along the lines that we've been playing pranks. So what can you do?
Elliot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's funny.
It's funny.
You know what? It wasn't that hard to get all that stuff out there, except for that kitchen table. But the expressions of the guys in the house who had to go over there and grab the stuff that they needed for breakfast, lunch, and dinner was priceless. So I was on the floor laughing my ass off.
Hilarious. Go ahead. Krzysztof Szczecinski, the game plan's pretty easy. Stand up. He's the best striker here in the whole house. He's he has good ground skills and good wrestling also. He's no slouch in either of those departments. But his striking ability just is head and shoulders above everybody else here.
205.
Guy's got a big reach. He's good standing up, good wrestling. He might take this guy down and powder him from his guard.
205. Good job, man.
I think Kyle, he's the leader of the team. I want him to win that fight. I want to see like 4-3. We trust in him, and I think he's gonna do good.
Yeah, coach is right.
Pressure on me because I am the first pick. You know, you're considered the top dog in the house, so you never want to disappoint anybody. You know, I got to show them what I'm capable of, and I'm looking forward to doing that.
I'm not scared of Christoph at all. I've had fights with guys that looked bigger and meaner than him, you know, that were a solid 235, 245, shredded. you know, tattooed from head to toe, same kind of deal, you know, biker lookalikes, shaved heads, whatever, you know, it's all the same. Once you get in there and the gates lock, it doesn't really matter. You know, what matters is your training, where you come from, what kind of camp you've been with, and what you've been putting in the last few weeks.
Kyle's nowhere near the level of guys I fought. If he makes it past the first round with me, I'm going to be very disappointed in myself. You know, I'm a way better fighter. I can probably fight him with one hand tied behind my back and still win the fight.
Stay.
You don't have to make any miracles happen. You just have to do what's expected, which is to be the better fighter and win.
If I see fear, I'm going to attack, drop bombs until he gives up his back or he taps out 2 strikes. He's in for a little treat.
When you hurt him, son, stay right on him.
The second you touch gloves, the only thing I'm thinking about is finding my distance. You know, it's like in Top Gun when the missile lock comes on and you hear that doot, you know, it starts getting faster. Right when I know I'm in range, you gotta let it go every time. Let it go fast and hard.
Yes, baby, I'm a party, baby.
I'm just gonna go in and do my thing. If I make a mistake and he capitalizes on it, it's only because I made a mistake. There's nothing he has in his arsenal that's gonna beat me. I'm the only one that can beat myself in this fight, and that's not gonna happen. This has been my dream and my goal to make it to the UFC, and he's one of the obstacles in the way of making that happen. And I'm so close, I can taste it, and I'm not gonna let anybody take that away from me.
There really is no chance of this fight.
I definitely want to hurt Christoph. I don't want to injure Christoph. I want to hurt him, though. I want to let him know that if he is overlooking me, that was the biggest mistake he's made in his entire life. And I also want him to know that all the pranks, all the bullshit been pulling this whole season, what was it worth? You know, all that is aggravating. It's no different than a mosquito biting me, you know? It's not going to affect me either way. I just flick it off or smack it, kill it.
I hope it goes the second round. Here we go. Let's go, Christoph. Come on, Christoph. Your show.
This tale of the tape is brought to you by Old Spice Swagger, the scent that makes a difference.
All right, this is the 4th preliminary light heavyweight fight. This fight is 2 5-minute rounds. If at the end of the second round the judges declare it a draw, we go to sudden victory. The winner of that round wins the fight. Good luck, guys. Let's go, Christoph. Let's go, Christoph. Come on, Christoph. You ready to fight? You ready? Let's do it.
This fight clock is brought to you by Need for Speed Undercover. Trust no one. Outrun everyone.
Oh, Christoph, good.
Keep that clean. Keep those knees clean.
Do again, Kyle.
Keep those knees clean.
Put his back on the cage.
Knee. You got it?
Perfect.
He's feeling your knee, Kyle. He's felt the knee, man.
Stop.
3 times already. You guys, you need to keep the knees clean. Yeah. It's the only warning.
Let's go, Kyle. Start in the middle?
Huh? We're starting in the middle.
Yes, sir.
Pay attention. You know how you're gonna move, Kyle.
Breathe. Good. Christoph, just do that all day long. Relax. Let your knuckles land.
Clean, Kyle. Clean. On the hook him, Kyle. On the hook, man. Fight with on the hook, Kyle. chance.
Yeah, squeeze his elbow.
Squeeze the elbow. Squeeze the elbows. Good job. Squeeze. Close his elbow, Kyle. Nice, Christoph. They're open still. It's still open. Nice. On the hook, Kyle. Nice.
Watch that knee, Christoph.
Knees, Kyle.
Throw some knees. Christoph, breathe. If you got a chance, throw some elbow, Kyle, from there, okay? If you got a chance.
This work, guys. I'm gonna separate you. This work.
Step in front of it first, Christoph. Put it down. Keep his head down, Christoph. Keep his head down. Nice. Put the legs up, Christoph. Hands up and grab the ball here, Kyle. Move your shoulders, Kyle. Move your shoulder down. Move your shoulder. Hit it. Push, guy. Push. You got it. Just hips forward. You have it. No. Get out, man. Drive your hips to the ground, Christoph. Just drive your hips forward.
Yes, Christoph. I got you just to do, baby. I got you just to do. I got you just to do, baby. Let's do it.
Put him down. Yeah, beautiful. Christoph came in exactly how I expected. He was moving his head around, and Kyle Kingsbury was leery of taking shots from him. Christoph, just do that all day long. Relax. Let your knuckles land. Christoph threw a great jab, real stiff. Kingsbury did the right thing and clinched him and put him against the cage. Nice, put him down. Put him down. Yeah, beautiful. Don't let him go. Hit him for that.
Kyle gave a very good throw and double leg him. So Kyle was in the top. I thought that he could finish the fight up from there,
Hit it. You got it. Just hips forward. You have it. Christoph takes the arm, comes out the back door, and is able to armbar Kyle Kingsbury, which is great because everybody was fearful of Christoph's stand-up skills, and now it shows that he might not be a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but he definitely knows jiu-jitsu. He's not no slouch.
Eventually the better man won, and I was the better man.
Christoph, to me, he's an intimidating guy. I think he's in some of these guys' heads, and I think he's got a shot of winning this thing.
Nothing but a party, Stanky. Nothing but a party.
This meant everything. My wife, my son right here, meant everything to me. I've been waiting for this moment for 5 years, and this is the biggest moment of my life so far, and I can't wait. One more fight.
Winner advancing to the semifinals, Christoph.
Yes, sir.
All the emotions running through me for these last few weeks, it's been hell. So very excited, very happy. Gonna go home and celebrate a little bit at the house and get right back into work tomorrow.
Yes, baby. Thank you, Dad.
I had no idea that his ground game was where it was and how good he was on the ground. And it is what it is. I just need to learn jiu-jitsu and really put in the time, 6 months on the ground is not enough compared to the level of these guys.
You're doing good, man. You good transition. Like, you was boxing him, you throw him, you knee him, everything you're standing was good enough. Just walking around. Kyle fought very good. I'm very proud of this guy. He's a good guy. He's the leader of the team. And he lost, and he's still the leader. Okay, I'm very proud of this guy. I'm gonna try to help him after the season. When I got a chance to train with him, I invited him to go to Miami, go to my school to train with me. And I'm gonna be there to help him for sure.
Better win. You gotta even the score.
I will even the score. I will even the score.
You're gonna see Kyle Kingsbury in the octagon again, no question. It may not be in 6 months, it may not be in a year. At some point in my career, I will be back at the UFC. This is the pinnacle, this is the highest level. And when I come back, I'm gonna be ready for it.
All right, guys, let's get it, O'Gara.
We got one more fight. We got one more fight. I don't want to see anybody hanging their head.
There you go. There you go. That's right.
We're gonna get better. We're gonna get better. We're gonna win this last one on John. All right?
Okay.
O'Gara on 3. 1, 2, 3.
John, you're next man.
episode of The Ultimate Fighter.
George Roop, Don Polakowski.
It's the final fight before the semis. And Team Nogueira's last chance to even the score.
What's going on, brother?
Can hard-hugging lightweight John Polakowski pull it off?
It's time to fire the cannon.
Or will Team Mir last pick George Roop, ignore an injury, and walk away with the upset?
I brought myself this far. I'm not about to turn around and give up.
Plus, the semifinal matchups will be decided.
Here they are.
Who will survive and get a shot at becoming the next Ultimate Fighter?